Hello, folks. First, Hawaii dealers first. Hello, Twist Mint. Okay, hold on. Let me starting Periscope here. Hold on. Got a lot to coordinate here because we got all these different platforms and we're going to make sure they're all starting correctly. So, hello, Entire Meyer. Hello, Ben, Tim Bear, Queen Lady Bug Star. So, again, as usual, I recommend that you watch on YouTube if you can. If you can, please watch on YouTube. Hello, Tim Bear. Hello, Queen Lady Bug Star. Hello, Nano. Hey guys, it's been a tough day. Let me tell you, very very tough day. It was hard. Was hard. First of all, I was broadcasting till late. YouTube doesn't support zucking background playback. You mean you want to leave the broadcast? Is that why you want background playback? Hello, inner reset. So I mean, I need the watch hours, guys. So yeah, I'll tell you a story, Hawaii dealer. So it's been a very very long day, very very long day. Hello, inner reset. So I'm going to be posting videos on our performance today and yesterday. So and then I screwed up again. Yesterday I deleted most of the videos, and today I lost the first set. So anyway, it's just difficult to remember how to work all this new tech here because there's so many procedures, and then you're concentrating on the music, and then you look at the video and you say, "Zuck, the video was not running." So I did not turn it on. I have the sound, but I don't have the video. So hello, Mount Fuji. Hello, Mount Fuji. So anyway, last night, I was up here late. We were doing a broadcast at the usual hour, and then I had to go to bed because I had to wake up early, and then I couldn't go to bed. And then, of course, daylight savings time came in, and then I had to wake up early. So basically, I had to be up and about, the equivalent of like six something. So I barely had enough sleep. How many platforms are you simulcasting? We're simulcasting on Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. And so I didn't get enough sleep. And then this morning, I had to go run to the venue, set up because it's a big event, and set it up. And I was there. We didn't even start performing till 2:30, but I was already set up by 10. Everything was already set up. And want some cheese with that zucking wine? What the zuck does that mean? Anyway, so I had to perform till 6:30. Then I had to finish packing at 7:15. Then I got to get home and eat something right before I do this broadcast. It was like, wow, like nonstop here. So let's consider this my break. So I'm here, I'm relaxed. I'm still wearing the same thing I was wearing before. I walked in the house with this. It's just the exact same thing I'm wearing. It's on the video as well, so might as well just wear it. So yeah. So this is my attire for today. So you can see it has stars on there. In case you didn't notice the stars. Okay. Please check Brax later. I sent you a chat about OBS. A chat about OBS. Why are you asking me OBS questions, Russ? Shouldn't you be asking OBS questions? Am I the OBS expert? There could be other people on Periscope that are good. Hello, Claire Peters. How are you? Could be other people who are better at the OBS than I am. Maybe there's some videos out there. So yes, I can give you tips, from what I know. It doesn't mean I know much. And I try to do my thing in a very, very specific way because I don't really have time to be experimenting. So I kind of stick to one style. And then, what's a good word tonight? The good word tonight is data weaponization. Hello, Moira. How are you doing, Moira? So, anyone know what Snowden is up to these days? Don't know. I'm expanding my horizons. Yeah, you have lots of practice. Well, the practice, Russ, is preset. I don't even look at the settings. If you ask me, what are your settings? Are you on VBR or CBR? And I was like, Zach, I have no idea. I have to go look at it. Okay, what's your frame rate? What's your, I don't know. I got to look at it. I don't have it memorized. You do the settings and then you don't look at it anymore. So I can't you can ask a question. It's not like it's in the top of my head that I know. Oh yeah, use that. Not necessarily. It may not be something that's because I'm trying to keep things simple and hello Jenner CP. Keep things simple and not really be too much. Not to be too techy because otherwise it takes off from other things I got to do. So I try to keep this kind of thing operational and clean, so that I don't panic when I come in. Like for tonight, for example, I came in and broadcasted. I just turned the sucker on, and hopefully it works. And for the most part, it does. Then I don't have to think about it. It's broadcasting all three platforms, and I'm all set. So can you imagine if I had to reset it every night? Breathe. Just read my message later. Thank you, Termeyer. 1213 behind 1213 behind your right. 1213 behind my right. You can see that. I can't see that. I can't see that. You can see it. I mean, my goodness, I already made it dark and you're still looking at that. Hello, John. Windsurfer. The topic tonight is a continuation of last night's topic. The topic last night, I'm going to give you kind of a. So it's 8:07. So we're going to go cut. We're going to do cut. Cut. The topic tonight is about nothing to hide. Continuation of what we talked about last night. Let me summarize what we went through last night. The topic last night was focused on when somebody says, I have nothing to hide, they actually don't know the implications of that. And the implications that I told you about, one, regarding the permanence of the internet. So if you don't realize that the internet is permanent and you go out on the internet and do certain things, and then you come back to me and say, I wish I could delete that. Unfortunately, as I said last night, the internet can only be worked on by being proactive and by by preventing things from going on the internet if you don't want it to be there. Because once it's in there, there's actually no way to delete. And I've told you why. There's things like Wayback Machine and so on. There's always a copy. Things you say on Periscope, somebody's recording all that. So at some point, this comes out. Somebody will say, oh, we took all the recorded conversations on Periscope, and then we're going to sell that. So back in the day, when Scoper Chat was around a couple of years back, again, back in the day, a couple of years back, the Scoper Chat would take all of your words on Periscope. It's stored in a database that you can retrieve, and you can say who mentioned me on the entire platform. Then you can see who said Rob Music in the entire platform. You can find them. You could look at a troll and see what has this troll been up to, not just on my scope but on any other scope, and that was available. So I'm telling you, that's how the internet is. Don't expect whatever you do on Periscope or any other platform that is not designed for privacy to be private. It's not. So I told you that last night, and then I told you the second part. For those of you who may have missed that, the second part is how if your friends have nothing to hide, basically they zuck you up. You get zucked by your friends. I told you about things like, if your friends have nothing to hide, they're very open with themselves on the internet, and through them, you are attacked. through them, your contact lists are updated with your name and address on it, just like my brother's example. Hello, Josie Johnson. Hello, Josie Johnson. Do you have a different name on Periscope, Josie Johnson, or that's the same name over there? There's just so many Johnsons, so I'm getting confused. There's so many Johnsons, and I don't know if you're the same Johnson as the one here. There's a Diane Johnson and some other Johnson. You were able to before because the database was open. Uh, Eggdrop did not make that available, but obviously they can store all of the comments if they want to. Eggdrop said this is a few months ago. Gilo said that Eggdrop will stop. Oh, this is Tim Bear. Okay, Josie Johnson is Tim Bear. Okay, hello Tim Bear, Josie Johnson. Okay, thank you for telling me that because I wouldn't know. You're on different, and that's really smart of you to all have all these different names. The problem is if you don't tell me, then I don't know what I'm looking at. What do they want the data for? We'll get into that later. But the main thing is that I was telling you that unfortunately privacy with other people is a very very difficult thing because based on what others do, not what you do, but what others do, they can prevent you from having privacy. I've already told you about my relatives. I have a couple nieces that are just love being on Zuckbook. They post everything, every Zucking picture in their lives. They come to my house. They take selfies. They're like, selfies all day. They have a new boyfriend. They post it on Facebook. Everything just happens to, anything happens in their life. They go eat some food at a restaurant. They post it on Facebook. They go travel somewhere. They post it on Facebook. And it's always the same pose. It's very funny how some of you get your selfies. It's like there's a certain twist of the face. You say, "What's my good side?" Oh, this is my good side. So I'm gonna go take a picture from this side. It's like, yes, I know, John. That's disgusting that you would believe that lie. Zuck is pivoting. Yeah, pivoting nonsense. Yes. Yeah, I talked about the yesterday too. So that's the difficulty with what I'm telling you is that your friends and your family and anyone else who's not interested in privacy are affecting you because through them there's facial recognition. They take photos. They take photos at your house with you in a picture and your location, and they are the leaks to your privacy because they're gonna use the real name, and then they'll post on social media with your picture on it. So then you see, oh, you're all related because you all look alike, and then you say, oh, your last name is such, therefore this must be your real name, and it's just zucked up because unfortunately that's the problem. We have a little bit of an issue because we need to create an army of people that says we need to behave as a group and say we as a group believe in privacy. It's not going to happen. This is one of the winning things of Facebook. They got the old people that go to Facebook, not the young people. The young people are leaving Facebook now. Rob's suit making me pay closer attention. Good. It's about time. Yeah, should I wear a tie? Do I need to wear a tie as well? Not wearing a tie. Okay, do I need to close this and be more formal? And that's the difficulty of what I discussed yesterday, and it's a bit depressing when you realize that you're in the situation and you can't get out of it. These days, just expecting Zuck to say sorry monthly. What do you think about apps like Snapchat? Boycott box, come on. Seriously. Do I need to tell you about Snapchat? Oh, disappearing thing, okay? Bow tie? No tie. Can someone use a recording of one's voice to recreate their voice for voice recognition? Yes, Costa. Yes, that's Adobe Voco. It's called Adobe Voco. That's one of the products that they made that they did not release. They did not release Adobe Voco because you all you have to do is train it to listen to somebody's voice. So let's say you have a recording of Savvy there. You have a recording of Savvy talking for a few minutes. You feed that to the AI, and the AI will actually talk like Savvy. So this they have demonstrations on the internet showing, that it listens to, let's say, Clinton talk or Bush, and then they put it on another face, and that face is saying something else. So you can basically make a video of, and this is the other part of this. You can make, this is called deep fakes. You can take a video, like a video of Obama or Trump, and then modify that. The AI will modify the video so that it actually says whatever you want it to say. And now with this Adobe Voco thing, they have the AI that actually can copy a voice, and then now you apply both the copied voice onto the video, and you cannot tell if it's real or not. That's actually a very, very important point, because that is the basis of some of the stuff that I talked to you about yesterday, when I said that data can be used in a war zone. Good novel story. So I'm going to tell you, you can make a video of Rob saying Zuckbook is, yeah. If I say that right now, somebody will cut those words and say it. But who are these wankers who are developing this technology? Adobe. That little company called Adobe. That's one. The other one is Deep Fakes is the name of the company. Name of the product. Deep Fakes. I've already demonstrated that on YouTube. So if you look around on the internet, you'll find references to deep fake. There's many, many references to it, and they show you how you can do that. And now you can match that with Adobe Voco. Now I'm going to tell you, people have a problem with deep fakes and Adobe Voco, because if used in a certain way, like in a political context, deep fakes, exactly, Maui Club. If used in a political context, you actually cannot tell if the video is real or not. That's correct, John. No, because it's been altered. It's been altered, so they can put any kind of metadata they want. So it's not the original. Okay, so think about that. I gave you the scenario yesterday, okay? And today it's a continuation of what I was talking about yesterday with the people who said, I have nothing to hide. I don't really care about any of this. The internet's not that important. No big deal. We don't really care about this. And I gave you the example yesterday of a U.S. base in Japan being attacked in a simulation through data weaponization, meaning you use data in a way to trick the people, to scam them and trick them into doing something that they would not normally do. So one of the ways they tricked, and I did not mention this yesterday, and thank you for reminding me. Hello, Brian H. Hello, Brian H. My internet is up tonight. So why are you not watching me on YouTube, Doug? Brian, the scenario. Let me repeat the scenario for you, so you don't understand how bad it is if you add deep fakes into it. So this is the story. So they made a war simulation. China was going to plan out an attack on the U.S. Against the U.S., but not. It was basically taking over some islands. Okay, they were going to take over some islands in the Pacific. This is the war game simulation. So they said, how is China going to do that? So they said the first thing they did was attack the forward base, the military, the U.S. military base in Japan. And if they incapacitate the U.S. base in Japan, then the military won't be able to respond quickly enough to avert any kind of military attack by China. That's the scenario. And so this is how they did that. They doxed the base commander. They hacked the base commander. They hacked doxed and basically scammed the officers. So they had a list of officers. I'm sure this can be found on the internet. So this is the kind of I have nothing to hide even in the military base. So I got nothing to hide. All of these soldiers and naval personnel are all on Facebook. They get hacked, okay, and then the Chinese hackers in this example. This is not real. It's a scenario. The Chinese hackers hold on to the information. They don't do anything with it. They basically invade the systems for as many people as they can on the base. Then they hold it. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. So they hold the hacking information, and on top of this, they prepare a deep fake thing with Trump on. This was not a Trump thing, but I think they may have used Obama in their example here, but just whoever the president is, and they made a deep fake video with Adobe Voca Voice as an example, where you can fake whatever the president is saying. So then you alter their internet, and they you have something maybe Trump is announcing on TV that says, I'm going to resign the presidency or something like that. And then everybody's like, huh? And they're all distracted. And then they start hacking each of the people, and they're like finding out their bank accounts. Bank accounts have been tampered with. Money gone. Their wives are having an affair. Their girlfriends break up with them. Their children are in jail. On and on and on. All these things that are just made to distract, and they sent it all at the same time. In this scenario, if you do that all at the same time, then no one is ready to react because everyone is distracted. And they apparently did this all the way to Washington in this scenario, and then the Chinese attacked. So can you imagine if you're a soldier? I mean, you're in the military, and then you see a video, a fake one, but you can't tell, of something like Trump saying something on TV. And it's fake, but they don't know that. And there's enough of a distraction for a few minutes. No one knows what's going on. It only takes a few minutes. So they do that, and then they're not ready. And then the Chinese say, okay, we're going to go attack these islands in the Pacific. And there you go. And then they position themselves. Now it's too late. Do you see the problem here? And this is because even in a military base, the soldiers, the military personnel, the officers, the enlisted personnel, none of them have anything to hide. Okay? And then you'd start to see that this is not some minor issue that you could say, oh, this is about my social media, and, I've got nothing to hide. I don't do anything bad. You don't have to do anything bad. The fact of the matter is just because being exposed and being doxable make you an instrument of this kind of manipulation. Because all they have to do is distract you for a short amount of time. Very serious. Man, guy, that's a real danger considering that we have had false flag attacks. Yes. Oh, yeah. Operation Northwoods. Yes, man, guy. Yes, you know your history. Yes. Operation Northwoods in Zakin, Cuba. Yes. So the problem with this, it only takes, if you are going to fake a video, and that's one of you suggested that I mention that. And yes, since you can fake videos now with deep fake, and they can address it to you personally because they know they've doxed you. The enemy has doxed you and know everything about you, and you say, well, I have nothing to hide. I'm boring. This is the typical comment, by the way. I have nothing to hide, and I'm a boring individual. Let me correct that. Do you work in IT? Yes. Do you work in administration of computers in IT? Yes. Then you're not boring. You may have a boring job in your mind. You are not boring to hackers. Because that's one of the targets. Anyone in IT, anyone who is an administrator of a network, those are the ways into the network. So if you find somebody like that, you blackmail them. So an example, the Sony hack. Remember Sony was hacked, and they got into Sony's records, and now that got exposed, all the private conversations between executives and movie stars and whatever about some movies, and even some private things said negatively about certain people. including famous people. And that was in various email messages floating around at Sony. And how was Sony hacked? As it turns out, Sony was not a direct hack like, a hacker goes in, breaks into your network. That's not how they got into Sony. They're saying it's North Korean, right? If you remember, the North Korean hack on Sony, they said it's a North Korean hack. However, the reality is this. Whether I don't know if it's North Korean or not, I can't tell you. But what actually happened was they attacked the IT guy, the guy in charge of the network. They basically got him to reveal the password. I don't know if they did it by some sort of blackmail and say, give us the password to the network, or if they just stole it from him. I can't recall. But that makes him the target. He may think he has nothing to hide. Anyone in networks, anyone in networking, computer networks would be a target for that because they have passwords. I am a particular target. Man guy says it wasn't North Korea. Okay, I am a target because I run a network, I have an app, and I have security keys. So if somebody said, well, let's hack this guy so we can get all the security keys, then I would be a target. So I'm very, very conscious about my security because of that. It's not because I have something to hide. I don't. I mean, my life is actually pretty simple. I have a very, very simple life, nothing complicated, but I deal with cybersecurity. That makes me a target. False accusations are the hallmarks of USA, WMD, Gulf of Tonkin, etc. You read the same books, man guy. Do I know you, man guy? Do I know you by some other name here on Periscope? If you don't mind telling me, because obviously, yes, same things I've said, man guy. Same things I've said. There's more. There's not just Gulf of Tonkin, and maybe you read the same book. You think Newtown was a false flag? What is Newtown? I'm going to tell you that there's a book about the NSA. There's a book about the NSA, and then you can read some of the false flags in there. And one particular one was very interesting. The USA is, very pro-Israel. Always a fan. Okay. The U.S. has always been pro-Israel. So it would shock you to know that during the how many day war, with Egypt, was that 3 day or 7 day or why am I getting I'm getting a blank here. How many days was the war, with Egypt? Was that 7 days, 3 days? I can't remember right now. Anyway, however long it was, a few days, right? I mean, I'm getting a mental blank here in my history. I'd fail history right now for not knowing if it's a 7 day war or whatever it is. Okay, so during that time, a U.S. ship was bombed and shot down and basically almost sunk by the Israelis. And MK. And so the Israelis almost sunk the ship, and there was one survivor. And that survivor did not reveal the truth until he was, I guess, on his deathbed. And then he talked about it. He was told never to reveal it in his lifetime. So he revealed it when he was about to die. So, and then he revealed, it's in this book about the NSA, and just shows you the kind of stuff that happens. Turns it out it was U.S., not Israel. No, it was Israel. It was Israel shot down the ship. It was a NSA observer ship, and they captured some photographs or video of photographs, probably because of the time period, photographs of Israelis attacking a civilian facility in the border with Egypt. and just near the border. And it was very cruel to capture that, and they now think that that ship was going to be blown up because they had evidence that would have been bad press for the Israelis. That was in this book. Have you ever heard of the Lavon affair? No, I have not. I can't I can't say I can't say that I'm such an expert on history. So I just know some of this because it's in the book about the NSA. The title is the NSA, the hidden something. I forget the name of the book. The National Security Agency, something something something. So that's the name of the book. And the book is kind of old, so some of the data is pre 2000. Similar operation, check it out. Oh, that's a different operation. Yeah, that was not in this book. This book did not have that. I'm talking about a very specific book that mentioned all the false flags with Gulf of Tonkin and Operation Northwoods and all that. So it was all in this one book because they were all NSA operations. Not using speculation, those I mentioned are lesser known, confirmed history. Yes, as Man Guy said, what I say are it's confirmed history. The people, the journalists who captured the data were from, this was actually from one of the officers that were on that ship. And they, some of these people didn't talk about this till the 2000s. Some of them, were revealed it in the 90s, in the 2000s, right before they died. So there's a lot of this going on where, it was kept such a secret, for all this time. Anyway, that's kind of I kind of deviated, right? I mean, that's not really my topic, but anyway, the idea of using a deep fake video. So back to what we're talking about, a deep fake video where you actually create a political turmoil in a country by using deep fake to and you time it. What is the let's not mention NSA here, Gump PB. I will tell you, but don't say that here, okay? Let me say NSA. You guys type National Zucking Agency, NZA, Zebra. For the new people, I will block you for saying NSA, so don't do it twice. National Zucking Agency. And there's a reason for this. Reason for it. There's a flagging mechanism at the. This is not a conspiracy theory. You want to read the article? I'll show you. This is nothing. This is nothing that mysterious. I mean, people in the know that there's keywords and internet things that you type are searched for, and they actually have a specific location where they search for this. It's at the AT&T peering stations. There's 8 stations around the country. They listen to all the things that are going on the internet, your email, your all of that traffic, and then that gets filtered based on keywords. They have a keyword list. AT&T receives a keyword list from the NSA, and then the traffic from the keywords, once they find that, they forward it to the National Zucking Agency in Utah. Okay, this is not a conspiracy theory thing. This is the article for this is, I believe, either in the Guardian or in the Intercept. So this is mainstream media. Just nobody pays attention. Nobody pays attention. You are describing the subplot of the film Skyfall. It's funny. Skyfall had a very similar. Yes, you're right. Skyfall. Yeah, there's a little bit of that in Skyfall. Yes. When I looked at Skyfall, I said, there's a bit of this in what I talk about. Yes. Now I forget the Skyfall story, but yes, I remember when I watched the movie, I said, wow, this is a bit of what I talk about. That's funny. But that's actually true. So what I'm talking about is not a conspiracy theory. You got to be aware that your data is being harvested at the government level. Definitely, if there's any doubt about this, Snowden already revealed what they do, and this is not a mystery. No one at the government level has denied any of this is happening. They all know this is true, and no one's ever challenged what he said. And they didn't say, oh, Snowden is lying. Nobody said that. What I'm saying is on Wikipedia. You can go check what Snowden says about mass surveillance. It's all on there. This is no big secret here. Don't tell me, this guy talks like Alex Jones, and I'm going to say, fuck you. Okay, nothing I talk about is in that category. These are all in the press. Now, if I'm going to speculate on something, I'll tell you it's speculation, but it's actually almost always right because my speculation is not random. I often speculate based on technology I understand. Based on technology I understand, I said, oh, no hormones, huh? What? So it's based on speculation of things I understand and knowing how it can be done. I'll give you an example just to show you, something that I've talked about here a lot, and I've speculated on, but it's a very reasonable speculation because I demonstrate it. One of them is that your email is being read. That's my speculation by the National Ducking Agency. Okay, that's my speculation. I go on the internet, I can't find anything about this, and it's sucked up because I proved I have a video on YouTube that shows you how I can read the email in plain text on the internet. So if I can read the email, do we have a dumb national zucking agency that's not going to read something that's out there in the open? I don't think so. Not possible. Not possible. So as it turns out, it's true. I got the confirmation. The Intercept or the Guardian, I think it was the Intercept, made an article that talked about the AT&T peering stations. They actually interviewed the employees, ex-employees who worked at these peering stations, and they found out that these are the places that have a read on the entire internet, and they can do what is called packet sniffing. This is something I also talk about, packet sniffing, and they can search all the packets that go through the internet on TCP/IP and see and read the text. And if they find something juicy, they can forward that to the NSA. That technology, I understand, it's very easy to do. Okay, I do it all the time with something called Wireshark. So all I'm saying is there a giant version of Wireshark that the NSA would use? Obviously, yes. They would have some high-speed version of that can do what I can do with Wireshark. This is not technology that I have to imagine because I use it every day. I understand. I can read your email. I can run Wireshark at your house and read your email. Someone said Zuck in a broadcast last week and claimed to have learned that on Periscope. Yes, obviously from me. I'm the only one that said Zuck, and the Zuck, the use of the word Zuck came from me, and it's spread to many, many people now. But yes, it did come from me. So anyway, if you understand what I'm saying, you actually will understand that I don't do any kind of conspiracy theory. When I said your email is being read and it's captured and what you say on the internet is being read here, this was being done already by Scoper Chat. They were capturing what you were saying on Periscope, but through very, very simple means. It would be a very, very simple thing for AT&T to capture whatever you say here on Periscope and send that to the National Zucking Agency. Because there's no encryption here. I mean, they can easily capture these same words. No hormones. Who the Zuck are you? Who the Zuck is no hormone? I don't get that. Anyway, I don't get it. I used Wireshark in college. Very scary stuff you can capture. So yes, so you understand that I am not Zach. Oh my gosh, Zuck tries to zuck us, especially always trying to zuck Zach. Zuck is always zucking Zach. It's just amazing. Yeah, Zuck. It was Zach and I. Zach and I started, and another guy. The three of us was the one who started to do the exchange about zucking this and zucking that. So it was Zach, myself, and this other guy, and we were the ones saying Zuck often on Periscope. That's how it started like 4 years ago. And now it's an Urban Dictionary. So now it's a... you see that, Zach? What the Zuck is now an Urban Dictionary. So anyway, I'm not Zuck. I use Bytes VPN. Yes, you are not Zucked. Hey, Kathy Anderson. Is it possible to send out mass text messages from initiated from one spouse to the other with mass pandemonium warnings? Yes, of course. Why would that be so difficult to do? That would be part of the that would be part of the. I mean, you can automate sending text messages very easily. I do it on Brax. I can automate sending any kind of text message, and yeah, that's pretty simple. So that's very very simple, and you're not going to know where it came from because of the way the network works. Because you're just saying, you don't even have to indicate where it's coming from because the number it's coming from is kind of random. So yeah, you can do that. So if you understand what I'm talking about with the technology for how to do things on the internet, like spy on you, spy on your data, then you can see how you can be manipulated. I'm going to tell you a little story. This was just assume it's from Rob. Let me tell you a story, Kathy. A little story. This was Snowden from Snowden. Why do I look like my face looks red, like I was drinking or something? Uh, must be just the lighting saturation. May have to adjust the saturation here. But anyway, um, I I heard a story from Snowden. So Snowden mentioned this. What happened was it involved. No, I was not outdoors, Kathy. I don't like to be outdoors anymore because might get skin cancer or whatever. So I was worried about that. So got to be careful. I go sailing all the time, and I'm always exposed to the sun. Anyway, the story from no, not Hillary, not the Hillary emails. This is GCHQ. Now GCHQ is the National Zucking Agency of the UK. So GCHQ is a partner, is the NSA partner in the UK. So you know, so GCHQ is the spy agency in the UK. Going outside is overrated. Anyway, they used the internet in a way that's quite interesting, and I believe this was connected to Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the Google company. I'm not certain of the story, so knowing certain facts, there's a intersection of facts with what I hear about Jigsaw with what is heard from GCHQ. So I'm not certain because this wasn't mentioned together, but I can tell you the technology exists in Jigsaw with the Google company to do what I'm talking about. This is what they did. This was a test. I think this was kind of a demonstration. What they wanted to do was target the Muslims in the UK. They wanted to target Muslims in the UK. So they said, how do we do this? They wanted to, the main goal is to see if they can reduce the radicalization of Muslims in the UK. That was the objective. This is the Jigsaw objective, the Google company, Jigsaw. That was the objective. It's their way to moderate these people. And the way to moderate these people, they think, is to change the internet. So that when they go search for Al-Qaeda, instead of seeing Al-Qaeda, they see the other side of the story. So they see something different than what they were searching for. But is the Zucking type of stuff not creates a false narrative that are deep fakes? I don't know what the Zucking Tavistock Institute is. Is that like something in Russia? Anyway, let me go back to the story. So the objective of GCHQ was to say, can we modify the internet for these individuals so when they search something or do something in the internet, they see something different than what a normal person sees? Now, in case you didn't know this is already happening to most of us. The technology for this already exists. For example, if you do a search on Google, if you're using Google to search, you will find that if you're a Democrat, you will see different search results than if you're a Republican. If you're searching for Hillary emails and you're on the left, you will get different results than if you're searching for Hillary emails if you're on the right. Okay? If you're searching for the word Pizzagate and you're on the left, it'll be different results than if it's Pizzagate on the right. If you are looking for dirt on Hillary and you're on the left, it will be different than somebody on the right. They've already been doing this. So applied to the Muslim example that I was talking about, they actually intercepted the traffic from certain people that they were targeting and changed what they saw on their computer. And this involved things like Google itself and things that they do on the internet, like what they see in social media and so on. So one of the tricks that they can do is something very, very sophisticated. You can actually change what you see on the internet. This is a very, very advanced technique, and it's very, very sophisticated, and it can be done midstream, in the middle of traffic. This is called packet injection. Packet injection. Okay, let me make sure you understand this. A simple implementation of packet injection is you take the traffic from the internet. Let's say you're going from your house. So Rob here, and then I'm going to a website on how to make a nuclear bomb. Maybe that's the website. How to make a nuclear bomb, or how to make an IED. Let's just say IED, which is a little simpler. Okay, because you can probably make an IED from home products, agriculture products, and so on. So how to make an IED? Okay, so inject my packet. So anyway, using techniques known to people in tech, you can actually take a TCP/IP packet, modify the packet, and change the contents, and then send it through. So you're not even connected to the website in question. So they're going to the website. What it was my example about how to make an IED, and I can actually inject something in the traffic and send it back. For example, I can send a TCP/IP message to the website. I can inject a cookie. Now the cookie then will be a tracker. So I can inject a cookie, and then it lands on your computer, and then you're zucked. So let's just say you were a bad guy and you go to a child porn site, and the FBI found that out, and they said, okay, let's do a packet injection for anyone that goes to this porn site, and then we'll leave a cookie that will be a trace on their computer, and then we can prove that they went to that website. So just an example of that. Well, packet injection, they've tried to make sure that this doesn't work anymore. But, the fact that someone can manipulate the internet and change what you see. So you see X, and instead of seeing X, it's now Y. And this is really scary, because if you can do that, it means that someone can say, well, you're fans of Alex Jones, and we know you're fans of Alex Jones. We're going to go give you a more sinister conspiracy theory to agitate you. Get you we want to agitate you so you can cause disruption in the country. So we want people to fight in America because we're, China and Russia want some infighting inside America, so they can do that. They can say, okay, let's go spread fake news and do it by modifying the internet. Not even worrying about directly, getting into Facebook, but can we modify the internet en route before it gets there, before it gets back to you. And this is the kind of stuff that can be done. In fact, there are many techniques I can think of, including modifying proxy servers. There's many techniques you can use here, and it's kind of scary. And this is the kind of problem that we have when people are not aware that the internet is not made to be, secure. Hello, unknown person, Rob. Not a true search. Yeah, so that's the scary part. That's why I don't use Google to search because I don't want it to be I don't want it to be tainted. I use DuckDuckGo to search. Now, DuckDuckGo doesn't profile me, so the data doesn't uh, have a profiled result. When I want to use Google, I use startpage.com. Can you use packet injection with cookie to add a virus? Yes, of course. I de-led Braxme, just downloaded Braxme, but I just bought a brand new computer. How do I get the hook on that VPN Tor? Okay, uh, if you do you already have VPN Tor? Do you already have? If you downloaded Brax, when you pay for Bytes VPN, did you already pay for Bytes VPN or Byte Store? Okay, when you pay for Bytes VPN or Byte Store, it will ask you to log in before you buy, log into Brax before you buy, so it will know your account. When you pay for it, it will automatically generate your credentials, and it will be in your. There will be a message to you. Yes. So Life Force, what happens? And thank you for wanting to purchase from me. What happens is when you sign into Brax, and then you go to my profile, and there's a store, and you buy Bytes VPN or Byte Store from there, or whatever else you want to buy. If you buy Bytes VPN or Byte Store, it will send you a chat message with your credentials already right there. And then the instructions are on bytesvpn.com on how to download the software to use that credential. So you just have to download the app on your phone. It's called OpenVPN. So you load the app on your phone, put the credentials that are on Brax, and there you go. That's it. Is packet injection technique used in the plot for the film Aloha to sabotage the launch of the satellite? I don't know that film. Uh, Hello, Coven. Sounds good. Thank you for supporting me, guys, on Bytes VPN. And I also have a Patreon account, Rob Braxman. So if you believe that the problem of There's Nothing to Hide needs an army of people to support, and I'm doing this full time. This is all I do now, and I make no money doing this. And if you want to support and help me sustain being able to do this, you can be a patron. There's several patron plans, and the benefit for you on the patron plans are to make me your cybersecurity consultant. At the highest level, you can call me anytime and ask about every decision in your cybersecurity life. At the second tier, you can ask me in chat on Brax, and I will answer you on Brax when I have time. And then the level one plan gets you Bytes Tor. You get Tor routing in the cloud. If you already have a VPN, that's all you need is Bytes Tor to add a VPN. If you do not have either one, you can buy my VPN or get a subscription to my VPN, and you get Bytes Tor with it, Tor routing in the cloud, as well as the standard VPN. So, and I appreciate the support because everything I'm doing here, this is all, uh, being done from the bottom of my heart here, and not making money doing this. And your support is very, very important to keep me going. Blast it off to space. So it's very, very important to keep me going. So I appreciate it. That's the patron plan. I also appreciate it if you support what I do. I have so many of these videos that I have on YouTube. There's my YouTube account, Rob Braxman Tech. I'm broadcasting on YouTube right now. Why do you like to do this for free? I want to know what makes you tick. Why do you like to do this for free? Because someday I hope that you will all realize it, and that I don't have to do free things, and I have products that you will want. What made you quit your day job for your new business channel? I don't have a day job, John Ritchie. Can you just get a VPN without having a monthly subscription? You mean you want to pay for it for the entire year? It is annual. It's not monthly. The the subscription to the VPN is annual. It's not a monthly thing. You subscribe it and you get it for 12 months. Even Patreon is allowing users based on politics or Visa is doing it. I forget. Yes. Uh, Patreon is doing it. Yes. And Visa, yeah. But I'm not into politics. So Fukushima's pouring radiation in the ocean every day. People, let's get it together. Uh, why don't you talk to the Japanese government about that? Okay. So anyway, so your support is important for what I do. I'm, you know, instead of doing other things, I've decided to build this part of my channel and spending all my time teaching and making videos, and it does not pay. And obviously, Zuck is laughing all the way to the bank, while I'm here trying to tell people about this, and it's a very tough thing because no one's here to support me. So I'm supporting myself doing this, and uh, it's not something that can be sustained in the long run without other people helping me. So if you feel like you want to contribute, then I would be happy about that. If I download the credentials before I have the protection, aren't I ready, Zuck? No, Life Force. That's exactly why you download the credentials on Brax.me. Brax.me is an encrypted platform. That's why I do it on Brax.me. I have a Coven. I have a patron. I have a patron account. I also have products that I sell. There's Bytes VPN there, and I have a patron account. So, so if you want to be a patron, you can do that. And hello, Chill Zone. So I've not asked for this. At the beginning of my thing on Periscope, but I've been doing this for a long time now, and I decided to do it full time, and that comes at a cost. That comes at a cost, and the cost is that while I'm doing this, I'm basically not making any income. So anyway, so my entire income is based on the products that I sell here, and patrons that support what I do, and I don't even charge you to use Brax.me. So I've been doing everything for free, but I can't sustain that without help, and with your help, I can keep doing what I'm doing and creating these videos. I'm basically making a video, you know, 6 days a week practically. Do you have live talk? Uh, what does that mean? You mean can you talk to me live? Yeah, the upper patron plan makes me your consultant. You can talk to me on the phone. If you're a consult, if you're on the top level patron plan, you I'll give you my phone number. You can text me. You can call me, so that you can get an immediate answer. Let's say you're an executive and you're saying it's just safe to do this. You know, get a consultant to advise you before you make the move. You're getting a scam message. Is it a scam? Not a scam? That kind of thing. Um, somebody who's an expert at this can sense this in seconds, whereas you have to think about it. I don't have to think about it. Somebody just did that to me. Somebody said I got a scam email and I'm about to sign up. The patron link is on YouTube actually. I thought you could fill a four-way conference on the show. I don't do that, Coven, because I'm on OBS. The patron link is on my YouTube channel. It's on the community page. It's also on my Brax.me account. Time zone changed, so in Arizona, you're on earlier now. So meaning Arizona did not change time. Yeah, I don't do the Periscope thing because I'm not on Periscope. I'm broadcasting on my own Brax Live Restream server, which is broadcasting to YouTube, to Periscope, and to Twitch. So I'm not actually dealing directly with Periscope. I'm not running Periscope directly here. Okay, I'm looking at Periscope as a simultaneous broadcast. Yes, I've not had a day job in the sense of being anyone's employee. I've never been, I've always been the boss. But in recent years, when I changed careers, because I used to be in medical systems, I I, uh, I was actually doing custom programming work for people. So and I get paid good money to do custom programming. I can program anything. So they give me a project and they do that. I have not taken any projects. I put all my time. Thank you, Ben. I've put all my time in doing this, teaching you. This is all I do now. Brax teaching. I don't do anything else. Okay, so I don't go take consulting jobs and so on, and I can get paid a good amount of money doing all that, and I don't. What is Twitch? Kathy, Twitch is a the number two video system. I think it's a number one live streaming platform in the world. Kathy, Twitch is the number one streaming platform in the world. What type of programming were you most into? I've done every kind of programming, John. I've done everything you can imagine. Okay. Uh, as an example, somebody said, "I need an online." We're a big supermarket chain. Said, "Build us an app to do a supermarket app." I did that, but that project is finished now. So I did that. It took I don't know 3 years total, and that supported me for several years. So that's an example of a project. Uh, so that's just a store. That's just e-commerce. Obviously I can do cybersecurity projects and all that. So it depends. I miss the music. Yeah. So I will. You will see lots of music in the video, not live though, just videos. Not in this live setup, but I did a live one last Thursday. Kathy, did you watch that? The problem is people will say that I missed your music, but then they don't watch it. So nobody was watching my live uh, performance here, right here, uh, with the band right here last Thursday. Did you watch it? No, it's still in replay. It's on YouTube as well. And I did 2 gigs here this weekend, and that's going to be on YouTube as well. Okay, let me. Hello, Jennifer. So let me continue on with my story here, and I'm basically uh, telling you kind of at hint levels that there's an infrastructure for basically changing what you see on the internet. Now that's pretty deadly, but it's not the entire picture. Let's start off with the beginning of the picture, which I haven't even talked about. At the beginning of this is when companies actually collect your data and say, how can we use this data against the people that we capture this data from? And of course, one of the basic examples is Cambridge Analytica. Now, again, let me tell you about Cambridge Analytica, which I've talked about here, before the 2016 elections. Before the elections, it was not even in the press. Nobody talked about Cambridge Analytica. I was talking about Jigsaw and Cambridge Analytica in my broadcast, and people thought this guy is, some screwy conspiracy theorist. And then when Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, became a big thing last year, suddenly they haul, Zuck off to Congress. And I've been talking about this, and I've been telling you that this is, yeah, the dual screens, yes. I've been telling you that this was actually happening, that somebody decided to take your data from Facebook and then use that data to see if they can do what is called, the nice word for it is micro targeting, micro targeted marketing. That's what they call it, which is a nice way of saying how can we manipulate the people. Micro targeted marketing. Now, let me just explain what that means. A lot of you go on the internet. I see a lot of you on, let's say Twitter, and some of you are very, very active on the political front, and you're out there like constantly like saying all of your political beliefs, and you're using your real name, some of you, and you go on Twitter and you attack people on Twitter that believe the opposite of you, and this goes on and on and on, and you like wonder if somebody can profile you. Well, obviously, just from what you're posting on Twitter, somebody can use that profile, and if you have your real name in there, can match it to your other accounts to say, yes, we know that this person is on the far left. We know this person's on the far right. And you're saying, well, who cares? What does that have to do with anything? So what if they know I'm on the far right? I don't care about that. I'm not afraid of it. And this is the sad part, because people don't understand the technology of how I can target you by changing your internet, just like I just said a moment ago about GCHQ from what Snowden already revealed. If someone wanted to change your internet based on your profile, they could. Well, guess what? There's an actual program that does this. The AI for this exists already. The AI for this, what I'm talking about, is not in my video on Nothing to Hide. It's not in that video. The AI I'm talking about is from Google. It's called Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the name. It's a Google company, and they deal with manipulating the internet, changing what you see on the internet based on your profile. They're using Jigsaw. They're using Jigsaw primarily, according to what they're saying on Google. They're using Jigsaw primarily to target radical Islam. That's what they're using Jigsaw for. They say, right? Radical Islam. That's what the AI is targeting right now. Yes, John Rich is so funny. Yes, I know. It's hilarious. I was talking about it yesterday. So if you have a program that can manipulate the internet for radical Muslims, what would it take to manipulate the internet from alt-right, for alt-right, or alt-left? Why would that be any different? It's the same logic. It's the same AI. You just teach the AI to behave a certain way and say, okay, let's change the internet for these guys. How do you do it? Oh, you can manipulate Twitter accounts and, put stuff in their timeline, in their Twitter timeline with messages that gets them all agitated. And basically what we want to do is to agitate this alt-right and then agitate the alt-left, make them all extremists, and then we ruin the United States of America. Because this will turn into a revolution. And then force Twitter to censor, and then these people will hide some more on the internet, and then we'll capture them on some other platform, or we'll make a special platform for them so they can all go fume in there and get an echo chamber, so they get themselves all riled up and then turn them into radicals. Surprisingly, what I'm talking about is the same thing that happens with Muslims, and that, isn't it funny that the same techniques apply? Just change the players. So when somebody says to me, oh, they can't do anything like that, you stupid zucks, they're already doing it. Okay? They're already doing this. This is not something that I have to go do a conspiracy theory statement on, because Snowden already said that they were doing it at GCHQ. This is part of what was revealed in the Snowden papers. So if they're already doing this, And you're saying, well, I got nothing to hide, nothing, none of this concerned me. They can't possibly manipulate me, et cetera, et cetera. They don't know how to do that. And it's like, Zuck, you mother Zucker. I just told you a reality. They were testing this at the time of Snowden, and that was many, many years ago. How far do you think they've gotten now? Where's the AI today? The AI was a company called Jigsaw, which still exists with Google. In case you didn't know, yes, I know I'm on YouTube, so this may get me kicked out of YouTube. But just so you understand, Google was started with money from three-letter agencies. Hello, Alan. Google was founded based on agency money. Which three-letter agency? Probably a pool of them. This is historical fact. This is not, I didn't make this up. This is true. Yeah. The initial funding for Google, the initial investors to Google came from three-letter agencies as a collective, I believe. They had a name for it. They have a name for it. Hello, Alan. Just the term, just the group. The funding firm, is it's a particular funding firm, but this funding firm gets their money from three-letter agencies. So something well known, and everybody knows this, that this agency gets funding from the NSA. So there's a Google Army. Well, they don't call it that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Why do you think so many tools are free? Yes. So, when you come and say, well, this guy is, a conspiracy theorist, we don't really have anything to hide, we don't need to care about this, you're sucking fools. You actually think that. Okay? No, it's not QTEL. Okay, let me just, make you think here. I'll just make you think. So Jigsaw, Palantir is the other big company, as I told you, which is another multi-billion-dollar company involved in data mining of this nature. And there's a few more companies, but Jigsaw is what I talked about. It's not in my video. In my video, I talk more about Palantir. Okay? Now, if you listen to what I'm saying, and these companies are taking your data and finding ways to manipulate it with AI and changing the internet for you, as in the Snowden case was proven they are able to do. I mean, I really wish I could see examples of exactly what they did. Did they do packet injection? What did they actually do back in GCHQ, many, many years back? This is a long time ago. This could be 9 years ago, 10 years ago when they did this little test. Where are we now, a decade later? This was 10 years ago when they did this test. So, if you understand that the internet can be manipulated, and you're still saying, well, none of this affects me, just live my life normally, and just like, do you understand what Cambridge Analytica tried to do? Cambridge Analytica said, let's take your profile and put it into the database. Now that we have a profile and your personality, we can actually say if you're gullible, not gullible, if you're smart, not smart, if you're an extremist and you tend to go out there and put it into action, or you just kind of keep it to yourself. These are the kind of personality profiles they were talking about. Do you see how that's so important? Let's say I wanted to circulate fake news. If my intent is to cause a revolution in the United States, let's say I'm Russia and I said, let's, cause a revolution in the United States. How do I do that? Well, I push the extremists, of course. What if I can do fake news to the extremists and make them think something that's not, make them think there's a conspiracy? What would happen then? Well, maybe it's already happening now. You can see, the left and the right are at extreme odds every day. It's getting worse. It's just more extreme, and people are resorting to violence. Before it was just words, and now you got people beating up each other in demonstrations. And you're saying, well, must be Trump. Are you sure it's just Trump? These people are getting a message to do this. They're getting frustrated. Maybe somebody's intentionally frustrating them. Maybe somebody's intentionally getting them banned. Maybe somebody's actually spreading the news to make sure that they actually think there's a serious problem that cannot be solved by free speech, and therefore they got to take the next step, which is to incite violence. Is that possible? I wonder if somebody will ban me now on YouTube for saying you're inciting violence. No, I'm making an observation. Is it possible that you could do this? Yes, if you have a profile of individuals, if you know what they want, what they do, what they say on the internet, if you can do that, you can actually manipulate these people, because everyone who's on the left or on the right, in the extreme alt-right, alt-left categories, are very easy to trigger. Don't you agree, folks? Please tell me, are those on the alt-right and alt-left, are they easy to trigger or not? It's just put a little meme out there and they go react like crazy. Please tell me, am I right or am I right? Come on. No comment. Nobody's actually paying attention. No one's actually paying attention. You're on fire but not inciting violence. So that's what I'm saying. If you're on the alt left and alt right, those people are already primed. They're already primed. They're already primed to react in an extreme way. And if you give them something to go on and saying, did you know that the such and such, that Trump is plotting against you and this is the plot? Oh, that would get him crazy. That's all I have to say is, do you know that Trump is plotting against you? And this, and then this is the secret plot to get you to do this and do that. And it's like, oh my God, that really makes me mad. And they go, and then they go on Twitter and they go crazy on Twitter and, pass it on to all the people. And they go put all these new memes and then they go shout and scream and then do a protest and on and on and on. And when whoever initiated that will look back and clap their hands and say, hey, it's working. We're able to manipulate people because people are very predictable. So fake news, obviously, is a way to do that. Why do they want to divide? Guess who they are. Exactly. So in this case, if your intent is you're Russian and you want the fall of America because this is your competitor and you want America to fall, well, this is one way to do it. Cause distractions, cause fighting in elections. And this has never happened before. But now other people around the world are saying, hey, we, Russia, Iran, North Korea, China, can manipulate Americans because Americans are the most tracked people in the world. So they have an agenda. Their agenda is disruption of our country. And so they can push us to be at odds with each other. Okay? So, yeah, you would think your government wants you to move you to the middle, but of course the politicians don't want that. If you're a politician on the left, do you really want the people to move to the right, middle? No. If you're AOC, you want people to move to the far left. You want them to be socialist. Okay? If you're Alex Jones, you want them to move to the far right. Okay? So, it depends on, who you're talking to. Everyone has a motive. And the problem is, as we alert people to our profile and what we actually believe and think, they can actually fashion a direct message that impacts us. And they can do this with the focus groups. This is how it's done in marketing, folks. You don't even understand why you buy things. Why do you buy things? Why do you click on things on the internet? It's very simple. This is something a typical MBA knows. They make a focus group. They go test it. They do a marketing test. Okay, they test out a packaging. They say, okay, there's two kinds of packaging. Which one would you buy? This packaging or that packaging? So you respond to it in a focus group and say, oh, yeah, this one looks like, the colors and whatever trigger more of a response. So that's what they use. Now, so if they can do that with marketing, can you think about that in a more deeper context if it applies to, political thinking and things like that? I mean, it's very, people are easily manipulated. Checking YouTube side. Hey, Zakia, how are you doing, my friend? You're Googleized. So I'm just saying to you that it's, if you understand the risk of being on the internet and the fact that data is available about each one of us, it's really scary to me if that data is used in a way to trick us into a certain kind of behavior. Right? So, let me twist this around a little bit differently, because this is what it's in my video on YouTube. You can watch it there. Please follow my YouTube account so you can see the video. But there's a nothing to hide video, and this time I focused on minority report or pre-crime. So one of the uses of this AI is to do pre-crime. Now you got to understand deeply what this pre-crime is about, because this is tied to the Constitution. It's in a big way. Okay, this is tied to the Constitution in a big way. The reason that we have all these things about warrants, like do not, nobody can do unreasonable search and seizure in the Fourth Amendment because of the Fourth Amendment. So nobody can just, let's say you're stopped at you're stopped by the police, and the police says, well, can you open your trunk, please? In your response, you can respond if you wish. You can say, no. Am I under arrest? No. Why would I open my trunk? Am I under arrest? Okay. And if you say no, then what are they going to do? That they can't just open your trunk, because whatever, if you're not agreeing to it and you open your trunk and they find something in there, they basically did an unreasonable search and seizure, and therefore, whatever they do, it will be, dropped as invalid evidence in court, whatever the terminology is. I'm not a lawyer, so it would be unacceptable as evidence in court, because it would be a way around the Fourth Amendment. Because according to the Fourth Amendment, if you want to get that kind of information, you need a warrant. Admissible. There you go. Levendi is like the expert here. I'm not. Maybe your presence in Maryland, Levendi, is just making you like such an expert on legal things, because you're right there with the federal government around you. So if you say, I don't want you to, am I under arrest? If not, then I'm gonna go. There's no reason for me to open my trunk. Okay, and if they want to open your trunk, they have to go get a warrant, because they have to have some reason. Like, let's say the dog that's a sniffer of cocaine is like barking like crazy near your trunk. That would be and it's actually disputable if this is true, but they would actually go crazy, and they would have a reason. They may have a reasonable excuse to go open your trunk and have that evidence be valid if they have a reason to believe you might be a suspect. However, for a normal person, no. There you go. Francis is saying police will lie about that. Anyway, here's the problem with the internet. The internet basically is your trunk. You put stuff in your trunk, in this case data about you, data about your life, and the police can open the trunk anytime without letting you know and look at your trunk, and you don't have any input. You can't even respond and say, no, I don't want you to look at that, because they already get that information and get to open your trunks in your car without you even knowing. So basically, stealing data on the internet without a warrant, which is, there's so many things that they're breaking right now. either as part of the Patriot Act or part of something called Rule 41, which allows them to hack you without due process, without a personal warrant, because they can do broad based warrants now, and say, oh, yeah, even though we don't really suspect you, we have this broad based warrant that anybody on the internet that's using any kind of encryption, like HTTPS, which is all of us, that's we need to go in there and take your data because you're suspect. Okay, so if you understand what I'm saying, that the analogy I'm telling you is that if you think that you have nothing to hide, I beg to differ, because you already have a trunk full of data in your car, or in this case your phone, or your internet presence, and somebody from any agency, three-letter agency and so on, can go look at your data and extract information without getting a warrant. And this is how bad it's become. Now, going back to my initial story about pre-crime, this company called Palantir Technologies, owned by Peter Thiel, what they did was capture data about every single individual, including where they go, who they associate with, who their friends are, based on social media and cameras on the streets and license plate readers and so on. They're basically tracking every individual in LA. And they're basically looking in your trunk and seeing, let's check your life, whatever documents you've stored in your trunk, we can go look at it, and then we can use that against you. So how did they use this data? So they basically use that data they receive from everyone that they can find, and said, okay, this is how they've used it so far. They said, let's identify gang members. This is the early use case. This is not the only use, unfortunately, but the fact that they can use it in this environment makes you kind of afraid, okay? Because they said, okay, let's do pre-crime by saying, let's figure out all the gang members. So they've now identified people who are supposedly gang members. Unfortunately, many people are identified with they're not doing any crime. They just happen to be circulating with gang people, but they themselves are not criminals. They haven't done anything that causes them to be arrested, and yet they have been. And how are they doing this when they're not committing a crime? There is no warrant. Do you understand that this now circumvented the warrant? Now, some of you will, well, where's Kelp? Kelp will say, well, that's good. That will keep us safe. That's good. Let's put a warrant. Let's take everybody's info and it'll keep us safe. It's like, suck. It means that whoever they target, without needing a warrant, they can get your data just like they do with the pre-crime people, because they're using the same data. They can find my data, like what streets I go into. They can find my car and freeway where I go, and all the locations, and based on my license plate and facial recognition, so on. They can do this to me. So maybe their intent is not necessarily pre-crime now. It may be, say, let's surveil this person for whatever reason and see if he commits a crime, so then we can take him down. Because we don't like what he says on the internet. Let's take this guy down because he's bad press for three-letter agencies. So now I talk here, and somebody could then say, let's go target. They can target me and go look at my internet activities and say, okay, we're going to make this person a target without a warrant and dig out potential crimes without any reason to assume there's a crime. They're going to go at it backwards. This is why there's a Fourth Amendment. You cannot go backwards and say, I don't know what you've done, but I'm going to keep an eye on you, and I'm going to put you in jail because likely we're going to find something on you. That's basically what it is. It's reverse. The Constitution doesn't work like that, but they've twisted the data on the internet to work like that. That's how the internet works now. Take your data first, find out what you're doing, and then reverse engineer that into saying, oh, he's a criminal. Oh, he's a gang member. Oh, he's a whatever. Okay? That is a circumvention of the Fourth Amendment. That is not how the Constitution was written. The reason for the Fourth Amendment is to prevent abuse of government. Somebody with power, like a government, can have an abusive power because they can just go walk into your house without a warrant and go look around and see if there's any reason to arrest you, which they do in a dictatorship. They can just go open the door, we're going to shoot it down. And they come into your house, look around, and say, "What's that? We'll take you to jail for that." See, you can't do that in reality because of the Fourth Amendment. That is not allowed. But they're doing it on the internet. Is anyone understanding what I'm saying here? This is what this data weaponization is doing. When you start having third parties like Palantir and Jigsaw steal data about each and every one of us and basically look for crimes backward based on the data when there is nothing suspected, you are basically circumventing the Fourth Amendment, which is not the Constitution. And this is why this is very, very disturbing to me when people say, "Well, I have nothing to hide. I don't care if the government goes searches in my data because I don't, there's nothing there." Well, to a point, I feel that way too. I mean, I don't have anything. I don't owe back taxes. I'm not hiding anything. There's not, I just got an audit. There's no big mysteries in my life when it comes to that. The government can check all they want, and I don't do politics on my broadcast. I don't talk about politics and so on. So you might say, "Well, I don't really have anything to worry about." And there's truth to that, but boy, it really upsets me that they're able to do this. It bothers me more that they are doing it more than what they can get out of me personally. It bothers me that they can do it to anyone. And I am not a target, other than the fact that I do, encryption. I'm not a target because I don't really do anything illegal. So there's really nothing to get from me in reality. They don't even hide it. The police TV shows use data to incriminate people. But Kathy, we're not even talking about, Stingray. You know what Stingray is, right? Stingray is one of the ways they take this data. Again, circumventing a warrant. So data is weaponized. Data is used against you all day, and the response, they might want to hire me. Well, that's fine. They can hire me. Willing to help for the right amount of money. Yes. So, but my example there is Stingray. Stingray. Now, do you know what Stingray is? Stingray is called an IMSI catcher, IMSI catcher, and what it does is it's a device that is like a fake cell tower. I don't know how big. I've seen pictures of Stingray, and it looks kind of bulky. And yet, I read a book where it's portable and small, so I don't really know how big this actual Stingray device is. It's not. They have a new version. It's not called Stingray anymore. I guess they know Stingray has been an overused term, but Stingray is a device. We're just going to generically call it this. It's a way for government agencies. They get this device from Harris Corporation in Florida, and they sign various agreements that people can't talk about the fact that they have this device. And what this device does is they can actually capture your cell phone data and get the actual data. You can even cause it to trigger a carrier update. In fact, it can cause your phone to be rooted. So you can root a phone. I believe they do it only on Android. You can root a phone and then install something else in there, and then you can install a keylogger or some malware, some police triggered malware. And the other thing that they can do is watch your traffic on the internet and watch your data. And they can now do this and capture this data, and then they can look at the records and say, you went to this website and said this. This is done with this device called a Stingray. So anyway, an example of how Stingray was used was during the Obama administration, the South Dakota protest at the Indian uh, burial plot thing. What was that? The pipeline. The pipeline in South Dakota. What the law enforcement agencies did was use Stingray against the demonstrators. So they actually tracked each demonstrator and figured out their social media and see what they were saying on social media and tried to intercept that. Now, how do I know this? This was published by EFF.org. Again, we don't do conspiracy theories. This is on the press. This was already known. It was actually brought up by EFF.org, and they said that they had evidence that the government personnel on site captured their data using Stingray. Now, again, here's the problem. Stingray is a device that they don't even discuss in court. If you discuss Stingray in court, they're going to say this is protected by the Patriot Act, such and such, such and such, and therefore we can't really talk about it because it's for national security reasons. So for national security reasons, we can't reveal that we're spying on you. So then the judge says, okay, I guess we can't talk about Stingray, so they don't. So nobody discusses Stingray when the fact of the matter is a device like this is intended to circumvent the Fourth Amendment, to try to get your data without a warrant. There's no warrant necessary for using Stingray. Actually, there was a court case, Alan, about canine, like smelling drugs and so on. If that's actually a violation of the Fourth Amendment, because they said there was a court case about that, because they said was the dog a basically it wasn't a person deciding that you're suspicious, the dog was, and therefore that's not enough to circumvent the Fourth Amendment. To say they have a reasonable suspicion of you, they can't use the dog for that. The people have to do that. They're not allowed to use some external device to do it. And yet they use Stingray, and that's not counted. So you can see some of these very, very serious issues that I bring up. Again, I talk about this all night. Very few people watch me now, and very few people care what I say. And these are very, very deep topics, and they're very scary. And it's not a joke. I'm glad I was able to speak without interruption from, the usual crowd. Get lots of other scopers come in here and attack each other and disrupt me. And I'm not getting that tonight, and I'm able to give like a full speech on this, and without interruption, and I'm able now to explain clearly why this is such a scary thing for me, because it's the purpose of the Fourth Amendment was to prevent a dictator from abusing power. I have lived in a dictatorship when I was young. I was telling you the story. When I was young, I lived in a dictatorship. And the police could go knock on your house, and you do not have any rights. If the police knock on your house, and they said, if we're going to go do spot inspection of homes, and if we find it, because you're supposed to surrender your guns, and if we find a gun in there, then, you're going to be locked up or even killed or whatever they do. Okay? So they actually, scared people with that. Basically, the police do not have to follow any kind of law about entering anyone's private property. That's what the Fourth Amendment is trying to prevent, is that kind of abuse. It's preventing a dictator from doing this. And so if we circumvent the Fourth Amendment with a way to retrieve data without requiring the Fourth Amendment, we're actually basically creating an environment that is ripe for a dictator to succeed in the future. So we're like saying, okay, Trump, you better be a dictator because we have the tools for you. Based on the current way the intelligence works, we can get all your data, and you don't need. You can basically go to every home and get information about everyone's home, and know who to target. And then you can set up martial law and then go arrest anyone you want. That's what a dictator does. Is that what you want? Is that what Kelp wants? Where's Kelp? Is that what you want? A dictator? The reason you can't do that is because the Fourth Amendment bans these kinds of things. So you cannot succeed as a dictator in normal America. But they can now because they're circumventing the Fourth Amendment with all of these little tools to break your right for a warrant, protective warrant. You need a warrant before somebody can do anything to you. We're not allowed that now. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. So you know, it's abusing our rights. So all this will become a huge problem in the event of a large national catastrophe. So now you understand why what I'm talking about is a very serious issue. When somebody comes to me and says, "I don't really care about this. I have nothing to hide." I'm going to be honest with you. If a person like that, I really want to just hold them by the neck and just say, "You stupid Zuck." That's how I feel. Now, somebody will block me and say, "You're inciting violence." Okay? So I'm being, this is a theoretical thing here. But that's how mad it makes me to think that, it's like I want to just shake them up and say, "You sure sucking brain. Listen to what I'm talking about here." Look, if what I'm saying here happened because we don't have any rights to protect ourselves from this kind of data stealing that can be used against us to break the Fourth Amendment. Yet, back up a second here. If you use tools that I promote, for example, use a VPN, use Tor, use all this, use a different name on the internet, and on and on and on. If you do these things that I tell you to do on the internet, you actually prevent them from collecting that data. And I'm talking not just about third parties, but even some government agencies. Maybe not all government agencies, but certainly some government agencies. So by doing some of this, you actually protect your data. So there's value in what I'm saying when I say we really want to care about what we do on the internet and what they track about what we do. We want to do browser isolation. We want to do all these little tricks that I talk about because I understand that this can actually affect what they collect about you. Is it not too late for some of us? Well, you want it to get worse? Kathy, do you want it to get worse? I mean, because you're saying, well, I'm using my real name already, so I'm zucked. So you don't want it? Do you want it to get worse? I mean, you can fix some of this. It's kind of difficult to change your name on Google, by the way, once you've set it up. So set up a new account. Canine dogs are used illegally sometimes. Yeah, not my expertise. I can't tell you about how canine dogs are used properly or improperly. I only know when it comes to the internet that they're definitely not used legally. I mean, it's legal, I guess, because there's no law against it, but it's very, very disturbing. So, Kathy, yes, you can say, well, I have nothing to hide, and I'm not going to do anything. But every day you're using the internet. I actually wonder, Kathy, just to be specific with you. I go on the internet, and sometimes I forget to turn on the VPN for some reason, okay? Let's say I forget to turn on the VPN. And it really bugs me because I have to think back and say, what did I just do in the last few minutes? And I have to assume somebody saw what I just did a few minutes ago. So now I start thinking, what websites did I visit? What data could they have captured? What could they have known about me? You see what I'm saying? That's how I think. It bothers me as I start to think about if a VPN is not present, I'm concerned about what they collect. Now you're saying, well, should I worry about it now? If I'm even worried about a few seconds where I'm not on the VPN, and you're not even concerned that everything you still continue to do is being tracked, and you're actually accumulating more and more data every day that you do that to use the internet. And if that doesn't bother you, I don't know what to tell you because it really really does bother me because I know if I had Wireshark, I can see exactly what it is you're doing on the internet. So, Kathy, what you do if you have a business is you create two identities and you separate them. So you have this you know business identity that does nothing but business. It doesn't go in social media. It doesn't say anything on social media that is not related to business. Then you create another account that is not connected to that other account. You never mention it. You don't draw attention to the fact that the two accounts are connected, and you basically make a new identity, pseudo identity, so that you're pseudo anonymous when going on social media with this new account. So then now they see two separate identities. This is the disinformation you need to make. That no, it's not too late to do this. Obviously, they have already some of your data, but gotta start someplace. Compared to someone who ignores it, there's going to be more data captured. Never FB, no. No. No, Facebook is too dangerous. There's actually no escaping from the dangers of Facebook. I've already told you this. So, unfortunately, it's not something that I can give you a shortcut and say, yeah, Facebook, you can use Facebook safely under these conditions. Uh, to be honest with you, it's quite a chore to use Facebook with any of these conditions because it's not perfect. You'll still be spotted. And just from a contact list alone, you're dead. You're dead meat just from a contact list. So the best way is what purpose is the contact list on Facebook if you're not on Facebook? It's not going to really affect you so much. People are uploading contact lists on Facebook every day with my name on it, and as long as I'm not on there, then uh, at least Facebook can't take action. They may keep it in reserve, but they can't take action. Sick of Zuckerberg. Yes, I'm very. Did you, as somebody already mentioned, and I mentioned yesterday in my broadcast yesterday, Zuckerberg is trying to change their policy to say, okay, we failed as your social media, so we're now going to be the privacy-focused social media. And I was like, Zuck, you actually, if you're fool enough to believe this, I don't know what to tell you. You actually think that Zuck, who keeps stealing your data even today, is going to go around. He's still stealing your data now. And for him to say now that he's into privacy focused social media, which is the label on Brax.me is privacy focused social media. Brax.me is privacy focused social media. To say that he's equivalent to Brax.me, I'm saying, how zucked up are you, Zuck? I'll just give you an example, Kathy. Just give you an example. I can refrain from Streamlabs is filtering Kathy. I see the bot. The bot is checking Kathy up there and saying, "Please refrain from using too many cats." That's so funny. The bot. That's my egg drop. Streamlabs is doing that. I need to be added as a moderator in order to remove messages. You can do this by clicking on to the right of my name. Who the zuck are you? Okay, that's so funny. That is so funny. Anyway, we can ignore Streamlabs because I'm not using Streamlabs right now. I better turn off the Streamlabs thing. I'm not using the Streamlabs bot at the moment. Ouch. Yes. And you use caps again. You're upsetting the bot. You're upsetting the bot. So back to Zuck. Just to give you an example, Zuck says he's going to go be the privacy focused social media. Right. This is what Zuck says. What does Zuck say? We want to offer you two-factor authentication. So in order to safeguard your account, we want to offer you two-factor authentication. So please enter your phone number. So now there will be two factors: your email, your password, and your phone number. So password and phone number. That's called two-factor authentication because they can authenticate you with your password plus a phone number. That's 2FA, two-factor authentication. Okay? And that was the moment I left Facebook. I left I had a test account on Facebook. And I said, Zuck, I'm not going to give you my phone number. Of course, most of you, and probably you, Kathy, gave Zuck your phone number, correct? Kathy, did you give Zuck your phone number? Well, guess what? They sold those phone numbers. This is Zuck for you. They sold those phone numbers matched to your identity on Zuckbook. They sold it. And you trust this guy. We're going to be he can commits this kind of mistake on a daily basis. And you're saying, I am now going to be the privacy guy of the internet. And he, on trust, you gave him your phone number because you would say, okay, I'm going to trust Facebook on this. So you gave Facebook your phone number. Did you expect that this company, the privacy focused company, would sell that phone number? That is about as sucked up as I can imagine. Not to me, they didn't sell it to me, but it wasn't, again, this is in the press, mainstream media. I did not make this up. This was in the mainstream media that they were caught selling the phone numbers. Didn't make this up. This is all in the news. Every one of you know this. Some of you passed this news report to me. So everything I talk about, nothing I've said tonight can be categorized as a conspiracy theory. Everything I've said tonight is very scary. Everything I've said tonight is very scary. Yet, as you know, just from listening to what I just said, that none of it is a conspiracy theory. It's all based on fact. It's all based on fact. So it's very, very disturbing when you start to see that the guy that says we are going to be the privacy-focused social media, you can't even trust him with something as simple as two-factor authentication. Basically, every time they get any piece of data, they're going to utilize it in some way that hurts you. It's like very sick guy. This doc is just sick person. I mean, just totally sick mentality. I don't understand it. I don't understand how iSocialFit can come to my broadcast every day and back them up. That's too funny, Route 64. That was my scope last week. So, yeah, Equifax unnamed. Well, Equifax, the fact that we're getting scammed daily is probably coming from Equifax, the Equifax hack. And then Equifax then says, we seriously zucked up here. So we'll make you feel better. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you LoveLock and Morton Salt antivirus. That's going to make you feel better. What the zuck is that going to do to protect your Equifax data? Nothing. Nothing. You don't believe what MSM said? Well, I'm just saying to you that even MSM says what I say. But nobody pays attention. Even MSM says what I say. So this is just, just telling you why is Streamlabs being the bot is so active right now. I thought I turned off Streamlabs. This is too funny. Why is Streamlabs doing the bot thing? I thought I turned it off. That's so funny. I don't think the Equifax thing was real. I think they let it happen. Wow, that is a conspiracy theory. Route 64. That would be a conspiracy theory. I saw him testifying major softball questions. That's a conspiracy theory. You may be right. You may be right, but I don't want to be labeled as a conspiracy theorist. So Zuck Streamlabs. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. So anyway, we're running out of time here. Hello, Ali, my friend. Ali, my good friend. Life vlog. Ooh, Chief Tor. I heard that. Hello, Ali. So anyway, we're running out of time. So I just want to say I didn't even get very far with this. I didn't get very far with what I'm saying, and because there's just so much. I didn't really tell you much about all the other evil things that Palantir and Jigsaw are doing. And I just gave you enough food for thought here, enough to shake up your boots with all this discussion about the Fourth Amendment. Earth to Streamlabs. Tonight, you learn that data weaponization using these mercenary firms like Palantir, Jigsaw, and then using it to manipulate the internet is a way capture data from the internet in the way they do it is a way to circumvent the Fourth Amendment. And again, to remind you what the Fourth Amendment is for, is to prevent a dictator from taking over. Is to prevent a don't say use caps. That's so funny. And now Claire Peters is gonna get a message from Streamlabs. What the zuck is this? That's so funny. I don't even use Streamlabs, and here it is. That is zucked up. I'm gonna have to log out of Streamlabs here. How come it's not getting mad how come Streamlabs is not getting mad at Claire Peters? Streamlabs, what caps annoy the bot? Oh god, this is funny. This is funny. Okay. The bot isn't responding. The bot is slow. The bot may just block you. I mean, you should blame me. I activated the bot, but I actually didn't think it's running right now because I'm not using Streamlabs at the moment. Because somebody says I'm Kung Fu, Ali. This is a Kung Fu movie, somebody said. I don't know why it's not in sync. I haven't tested it. Maybe you're watching Kung Fu. Kung Fu brags. In that context, it's much like the Second Amendment. Yes, Alan. Yes. The Second Amendment is made for the same reason physically by saying if you can protect yourself, then if you can protect yourself with these kinds of things, then Thank you, Route 64. Thank you. So yes, Second Amendment, and what we're talking about here is the Fourth Amendment. So guys, again to repeat, we're going to continue this tomorrow. I have an allergy right now. Termeyer. The bot stopped. What happened to the bot? It stopped working. The bot kind of got frustrated. Okay. Yeah. So we'll continue this tomorrow. We're running out of time. running out of time today. But again, to remind you, my battle is a tough one. My battle, recognize weapons in real time video. Wow. My battle's a tough one, so I'm asking for your support. I have a Patreon account. You can support me on on Patreon. It's actually discussed in my YouTube page in the community section, and it's also in Brax Me. You can see that there. I think I tweeted it too on my I tweeted it on Twitter, and so I have a Patreon account that would really be a help if you supported. If you support what I do, please subscribe to my YouTube account right there. Watch my videos as well, and more videos coming. And if you want to if you want to support me through the Patreon account, that would be so appreciated. Or you can also buy my VPN product right there. So Kathy, you need to buy VPN. Don't tell me you don't have a VPN. Years of telling you need a VPN. Number one, right there. Okay? What do you need to do? VPN, you go to bytesvpn.com, right there, and you set up a Brax account. You go to Brax and look, it's on my profile, the store. You buy the VPN there, and it will send you the credentials in a chat message. All done in an encrypted platform. So it's not like PIA. PIA will mail you your password. We don't mail you anything. So you go on Brax, and it will send you a chat message right there, encrypted, with your user information, and then you can start using it. Okay, so that's I don't really ask much for support in the past, but I do now. So I think it's important for my message. The VPN is it comes with two products in one. It comes with a cloud-based Tor router, and it comes with the standard VPN. So you can choose between using the VPN or using Tor, and combined it's $89 a year for your entire family. So one VPN subscription will work for 6 devices simultaneously, meaning you can put it on a dozen devices as long as no more than 6 are using it at the same time, which is your entire family. You should be good to go. Okay, so that's $89 a year, and this will be a needed protection for any household. I just can't imagine that you would go through life without a VPN in today's time. Otherwise, everything you do is being recorded. Yeah, less than Morton Salt. You don't need any Morton Salt. You don't need don't say I need identity theft protection. I'm going to go to LoveLock. Spend money for LoveLock for $9.99 a month. So that's basically $120 a year for LoveLock, which gets you nothing. You try not to ever turn it off, Kathy. If you may have to turn it off to watch Netflix. So what I do when I watch Netflix is I turn it off temporarily and then I turn it back on. Because Netflix only checks at the beginning of the video. So when Netflix starts, I turn it off. When the movie's running, I turn it back on. For banking, the VPN is usually okay for banking. I don't have any problem with banking on Tor. On VPN. I don't have a Ticketmaster blocks you. Ticketmaster will have probably more extreme ways of blocking. Don't forget, it comes with a deep web scan. No, there's no deep web scan. My IP Vanish keeps turning off. Why are you using IP Vanish, Leroy? You're in Bytes VPN and you're using IP Vanish. Why does Zucker using IP Vanish? Only iSocialFit uses that. Okay, so I could be wrong, but I believe it's his real name. You mean Rob Braxman Tech? Why am I dressed up? Don't you like it, Ali? Would you like me to be sloppy? Would you rather I be sloppy? You'd rather I be sloppy? I don't know what yes means. So this is actually, as you can see, it even has stars on it. You know, it has you know my stars. His real name is Waxman. So yes, my real name is Rob. My real name is Rob. I like the Brooks Brothers sweaters. Thank you, Ali. You don't like the Brooks Brothers blazer and the Brooks Brothers shirt, the Brooks Brothers pants. Everything is Brooks Brothers. Yeah, this shirt is Brooks Brothers shirt, Brooks Brothers blazer. It's all pretty much all Brooks Brothers. But I feel underdressed. No, I went somewhere. You'll see in the video that I had to perform. Brooks in caps. I had to perform, so I had to go someplace and perform. So I was playing music, and if you go see the video, then you can see everyone's dressed like this. They were wearing the same stuff, so everyone was attired similarly in kind of a yacht club attire. So this is a yacht club attire. You can see has all the stars and all hardware. I got hardware. This is the highest rank you can have. That's my rank. It's Commodore. So it shows my highest rank. So I can go to a yacht club and they can look at me and say, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can't intimidate you." Have a great evening, Yacht Club. Yes, Brooks Bro is the official blazer for the Rob Braxman Show. Yachtsman. Yes, I'm a yachtsman. Okay, guys. We'll continue this tomorrow, and there's still stuff to talk about. Braxman. Well, I am the Braxman. I am the Braxman. I have Brax.me, and since that is my product, I am the Braxman. So that's why I'm Rob the Braxman. But to turn it into a Jewish name, it's Rob Braxman. Okay, so now it's Jewish. Name on Patreon is Rob Braxman. Name on Patreon is Rob Braxman. Okay, so I'm Rob the Braxman. Yes, right there. Thank you. If any of you support me, I really really appreciate it. I'm just telling you that it's a very difficult thing to be doing what I'm doing, and if any of you support me, I'm just gonna be like so thankful to you. So thank you for your support in any kind of a way, either supporting me on Patreon or supporting me with Bytes VPN or using a subscription on Brax.me. Yes, I am Alan Grimm. Yes, I am Rob the Brax dude, but that doesn't sound Jewish, so I'd rather be known as Rob Braxman. It's better like that. Thank you for the super heart, Ali. Thank you, the taxman, the Brax dude. Yeah, I could have done that, but it doesn't sound like Ron Waxman. Ron Waxman, Rob Braxman is better. Rob Braxman is better. So support with Bytes VPN, support with Patreon, support with a Social Vision account on Brax. Any of those ways to support, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You just don't know. I appreciate it very much. Okay? Thank you. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting tomorrow, and I will put videos out for my music stuff this weekend on YouTube. I will put that on YouTube. Okay, guys? So it's good night. See you soon. Bye-bye.